How do you feel when you get a compliment? You're gorgeous, you look fantastic, you're a great chef, you're an awesome singer, I love that outfit, your home looks beautiful. How do you feel when somebody notices the awesome things that you have done in your life? We have a thing called an ego, and it's been suggested that we love getting our ego stroked. If somebody says something nice to us, it makes us feel good. So my question is, how often do you give compliments? Or are you embarrassed to give compliments? Now, I'm often accused of having absolutely no filter for giving compliments, and I definitely don't. If I see something that I like, I appreciate, I always say it. You've got great biceps. I love your hair today. I love your outfit. You've got a beautiful home. Thank you for this amazing meal. Thank you for being in my life. I'm always and obviously sharing with people that I appreciate what they do for me or whatever they are doing that adds value to their own life. It's interesting though, because there's two parts to that. Some people share with me, I'm angry with my partner, or I have a bad relationship with the people in my life because they don't appreciate me. They don't compliment me. They don't tell me that they're grateful for me. I don't like my life at the moment because the people in my life don't treat me beautifully. But here's an interesting thing to consider. If somebody gives you a compliment, how do you respond or react to the compliment? So if somebody says you're beautiful and you say, thank you so much for noticing, I really appreciate that, versus, no, I'm not, I'm really ugly, or no, I don't look great, this is a horrible dress, it didn't cost anything, it's really not very nice. And I've dealt with that a lot because I've worked with a lot of people in my life. I'm an old lady, I've managed health clubs all over the world, I've been an exercise professional all of my life. And a lot of people exercise because they want to feel better about themselves and because the people in their life don't treat them very well. But a lot of women will say to me, my husband doesn't compliment me, doesn't appreciate me, or my partner doesn't. And I'll say, what do you say when your partner compliments you? Because if your partner tells you that you're beautiful and you say, no, I'm not, then there's two parts to that. One is you're disagreeing with their opinion. You're actually disagreeing, arguing with their opinion. Everybody has the right to an opinion. So if somebody tells you you're beautiful, they think you're beautiful. You tell them that you're not. You're disagreeing with them you're saying they don't have a right to have that opinion. But if somebody gives you a compliment and you don't agree with them, you don't just say, thank you, I really appreciate that. Why would they give you another one? Why would somebody tell you you're beautiful? You say, no, I'm not. Why would they tell you again? Because they got rebutted. They got treated badly by the compliment they gave you. Now, I'm a bit different to that because I've got thick skin. If somebody tells me that what I said isn't true, so I'll say, you're beautiful, or you've got great legs, or I love your hair, or you trained really hard today, and they say, no, I didn't, no, I'm not. I've never given up on compliments. I just keep giving them anyway because I want people to feel good. But I understand why people wouldn't, because if you aren't treated beautifully in return, then why would you continue? And I'm sharing that because I would like everybody to feel good, obviously. I'm a motivational, rah-rah, happy person who wants the whole world to be amazing, and I'm not going to apologise for that. But I live in a world where either people don't respond nicely to a compliment, they react, no, I'm not, or even if you... It's a really interesting look on their face. It's like, do you mean it? And there's a big point to take from that. Flattery doesn't work. It's got to be a true compliment. You can't flatter somebody. You can't give somebody a comment because you want something back in return. It's got to be a natural, genuine, I appreciate you and I don't care if I don't get anything back in return, which is why I'm sharing with you that if I say you're beautiful and the person says, no, I'm not, I just say, well, I think you are, smile, nod and walk away. I don't stop giving compliments. I want people to get into the habit of feeling good about themselves, but perhaps if I give a compliment, perhaps then maybe they'll pass it on. And I use that as an example because I don't know if you've seen this video on the internet where a person's walking along the street and they're just smiling at everybody. Smile, 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 smile. And a lot of people don't smile back. Now, often if you smile at somebody and they don't smile back, you may not smile at the next person. But the person in this video just keeps walking along, smiling, smiling, smiling. And what they don't see is that the people that they smile at, not all of them smile back. But what the video captures is that as the people that have gone past move along the street behind them, they then smile at other people. It's an infectious thing. So if you become the person in your world who gives compliments, if you become the person in your world who smiles more, if you're positive, if you're a solution finder, if you're always adding value to a room, and I always ask this question, do you light up a room when you walk in or when you walk out? There's a lot of people who have negative energy around them. They don't add value to a room, and we're happy when they leave because the room feels better when they're gone. I don't want to be that person. How about you? I want to be the happy, bright, positive person. But the world's not going to become happy, bright, and positive if we don't keep adding that into the world. If you get rebutted, if your compliment isn't appreciated, if you smile and somebody doesn't smile back, if you stop being a nice person, then we go into a downward spiral and the world becomes a crappy place. I don't want to live in that world. So I just keep aiming to add value. Now I know I sound rah, happy, positive, but I want to live in a happy, positive world. And I just think that adding value to other people's lives, and I do it in as many ways as I possibly can. And some people don't like it. Some people don't like getting a compliment, but I'll rephrase that. Is that true? Would it be better if I said, you're ugly, you're fat, you're disgusting, I hate you? And of course the answer is no, and I would never say such a thing to anybody because it doesn't add value to anybody's life. So I'm not about telling lies either. I don't want to tell somebody they're beautiful if I don't think they are. I don't want to tell somebody that they trained hard if they didn't, and I use that as a classic example. As an exercise professional, I have never told somebody you trained really hard today when they didn't. But when they did train really hard and they did put in a big effort and they did put in 100% effort to get the result that they wanted, I always share that. So if I wrap all of that up in a big happy pink box coming out of the sky, why not just be a nicer person? What if you see somebody that's beautiful, tell them. If somebody's done a good job, appreciate them. If you love having people in your life, do you tell them? It's a great thing about love. It comes in two forms, show people and tell people. And you have to do both. You can't just tell somebody you love them and not show them, but you can't show somebody that you love them and not tell them. Because a lot of women have shared that with me too. Their husband does a whole heap of cool stuff for them, but he never says, I love you. There's some partners who say, I love you, but they never do any cool stuff. It's got to be a combination of both. So what we say and what we do, is it possible there needs to be a combination of positivity, optimism, solution finding, so that we can add value to the world? Because I think if we live like that, we could probably, you ready for it? We could live our life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max. Give a compliment. Make somebody feel special. What a great idea. Woohoo!